Round one. Ready, go!
Oh, this chair is very, very heavy. Oh, see, every time you ask someone to carry this heavy chair, why are you asking me to carry this chair now? And you'll not be giving somebody work. Ow, hey. Whew. This one doesn't even help itself. I was even thinking this one would be heavy like that. Yeah. It's not even heavy. I'm bringing it. Yes. Good morning, boys and girls. How are you doing today? So sorry I had to start by doing that little experiment. Speaking of which, I am to be in class this morning. Oh yes, I am. Oh, of course I am. I don't mind you. One man, my neighbor, he asked me to go and help him to carry one heavy chair. The man doesn't disturb somebody every time. Go and carry heavy chair. Go and carry this one. That day, he asked me to help him to carry bag of rice. Today now, I was asking him to help me to carry chair. Now, the man always like to give somebody work every now and then. And the kind of work he likes giving is the work that he will give you to be carrying heavy things. He cannot even be asking somebody to be carrying light things like this book, or maybe let's say this cup, or maybe let's say something that is light like this Bible. Every time he asks you to carry bag of rice, or chair, or table, or even TV. I'm even tired of himself. Today, we're talking about something very interesting. Wait! Somebody will say, so all these things that Mr. Mone was doing now was just to introduce the lesson. Of course. So, today we're going to talk about weight. Weight. Now, if I'm to start by asking any of you, the truth of the matter is that none of you likes to carry everything. Nobody likes to carry everything because everything might injure you. If you carry the one that is bigger than you, you might break your spinal cord, or you might end up injuring yourself. Okay, so please, that chair, don't carry it too. Just I don't tell you. Somebody said, someone can say now, Mr. When I carry chair, let me go and carry my own. You just enjoy yourself. Okay, so what is weight? What is weight? Now we're starting a new series, alright? Throughout the course of this class, let me tell us what to expect. In our today's class, we're going to be looking at weight measure. We're going to be looking at first of all the conversion of weight. Alright? Now, in our next class, we're also going to be talking about the second part of conversion of what? Weight. Then after that, we're also going to talk about some other aspects of weight that we don't really know. But today, I want to introduce weight to you. A lot of the times, when we give, what I've noticed, when you ask children to do a particular thing, or ask students to do a particular thing, you notice that if it actually comes to anything that has to do with conversion, alright, conversion like converting one form of weight to another, one form of time measure to another, one form of metric length to the other, they're always finding it difficult. When I was in primary school, let me not lie, not my upper primary, the lower primary, there is this song we usually sing in the morning. In fact, that is the first thing we usually do when we get to school in the morning. And I can categorically tell you that till today, I have not forgotten those songs we used to sing that year. Once did that come in, maybe, I think that was in primary 1, I don't know, I can't remember the actual class, but I know that once we entered the class, once we finish greeting our teacher, the first thing we are going to start doing is 10 millimeter make 1 centimeter, 10 centimeter make 1 decimeter, 10 decimeter make 1 meter, 1,000 meters make 1 kilometer. After that, we sing 60 seconds make 1 minute, 60 minutes make 1 hour, 24 hours make 1 day, 7 days make. I know you're laughing. But let me tell tell you, see, you see this thing I just said now. See, that time when I was in primary 1, I don't know, primary 1 or 2, that was when I learned this thing. Until today that I have grown up, I have not forgotten it. And let me tell you guys something. The thing actually even helped me when it comes to all this change time or change weight or change meters or length or whatever. I didn't find it difficult because I already know what part of this gives me this. But today when you ask students some questions, say for example now, change 1 hour. Change 1 hour to, let me say, seconds, to be scratching their head. See, you don't expect any child to change 1 hour to seconds if that child does not know that 60 seconds make 1 minute and 60 minutes make 1 hour. So before you can be able to solve this question, you must be able to change it to minutes first. After changing it to minutes by multiplying it by 60, you also now change it to seconds by multiplying it by another one, 60. But guess what? That child cannot know how to do this thing if that child does not know 60 seconds make 1 minute, 60 minutes make 1 hour, 24 hours make 1 day, and on and on and on. What am I trying to say? I want to introduce weights, but I want to make it very, very easy. You know, in Mr. Emmanuel's online learning clinic, we make mathematics simplified. We make math very easy for you to comprehend. Alright? Comprehend simply means understand. Okay? Before you say Mr. Emmanuel is speaking too much grammar. Now, weight talks about how heavy, like that chair, or how heavy an object is. It talks about what? How heavy or light an object is. Now, we said here, all matter is said to have weight. Now, in our science class, we learned about matter. You know, we were told that matter is anything that has weight and occupies space. I don't know whether you've learned it in your own class, but I know that we learned that matter is anything that has weight and what occupies what space. And we said that matter exists in 3 forms: solid, liquid, and what? Gas. Now, if you're talking about anything solid, you're talking about things like this book or probably that chair. Then we're talking about liquid, we're talking about something that has to do with water. And then if you're talking about gas, we're talking about air. Now, if you look at these 3 things, you will know that anything solid has weight and occupies space. Anything liquid has weight and occupies what? Space. Anything gas has weight and occupies space. But we're not talking about matter today, but I'm just trying to use it to explain weight to you, that he said all matter, so that you're not going to be thinking it's matters arising. All matter is said, anything that is solid, liquid, or gas has weight. That is just the meaning. Anything that has weight and occupies space anything that has weight and occupies space is said to be what? Matter. For example now, I am matter. Oh yes, I am matter because I have weight. If I ask you to carry me now, can you carry me? You are laughing. You can't carry me now. You can't carry me because I am heavier than you. Alright? So, moving on. Now we said, so that is it about weight. So now we have understood that weight talks about how heavy or light something is. Okay? So what can we use to measure weight? Weight can be measured using body weight scale. For example now, there's something that sometimes if you want to measure your weight, you stand on it and then you look at it to read. It will tell you are 40 kilogram or 50 kilogram. And the last time I checked, I think I was about 70 something kilogram. That was about sometime last year. I think I was about 70 something kilogram, but I can't really remember now. But I know that by now I must be like 80 or 90, I don't know. So if you want to know how heavy you are, you can go and get that body measuring scale. Ask your mommy, get the scale for me now, alright? And then you stand on it, and then you know how heavy you are, alright? Apart from that, we also have what they call spring balance. You know, they use this one to measure things for all these metals and what have you. I might show you the picture at the end of the video so you have an idea of what spring balance is, alright? Now, let's get to the main thing. So now we've understood that weight is anything that has weight and occupies space, alright? Now moving on. Now the basic unit of weight is gram. In fact, anytime you hear anything gram, milligram, centigram, decigram, kilogram is what? Weight. Alright? So we now say here that small weights like this, like this, like this, small weights like this are measured in what? Milligrams and grams. Small weights like what I just showed you now are measured in what? Milligrams and what? Grams. Now, heavy objects, extremely heavy, not necessarily extremely heavy, but heavy object like this chair, or probably this table with books on it is extremely heavy. They are measured in what? Kilograms. Alright? Heavy weights like what I just showed you now are measured in what? Kilograms. Then heavy, very heavy weights like your car, trucks, or probably those big trailers you used to see. They are measured in what? Tons. Am I communicating? So you see what we did now, alright? There are small weights. Trying to figure out how heavy small objects are, you use what? Milligrams and grams to measure them. There are heavy weights like myself, chair, table, fridge, TV, you know, some of those appliances in your house. If you want to measure how heavy they are, you can do that, even with your bag of rice. Alright? But after this video, you can go ask your mom. Your bag of rice is how many kilograms? Oh, of course, it's very, everybody knows that one. How many kilograms? Okay, let me pause a little. If your parents or brother is there with you, ask them, the bag of rice is what? It's always constant, oh. That bag of rice used to eat is always constant. So ask them before I continue. I'm going to wait, oh. Honestly, I'm going to wait. So I will wait for you to ask them and then give me feedback. So ask them, mommy, or daddy, or whoever, our bag of rice is how many kilograms? I'm waiting, ask them. Ask now, ask. Have I told you? Okay, so your bag of rice is how many kilograms? Sorry? 50 kilograms! Fantabulous! You are exceptional! You are very well, brilliant! Now, the reason why I asked you to ask them is because the first thing I learned when, you know, when I was, there was an uncle of mine I was living with when I was growing up. He sells all these food items. And then I always notice that anytime they bring bag of rice, they're always writing in bold 50 kg. And I'll be wondering, what is this 50 kg? I didn't understand what that 50 kg actually implies until I got to about, let's say, my secondary school, that it actually means kilogram. Then I didn't know that 50 kilogram was what you used to measure weight. I didn't know. But I'm just telling you now so you know. As I said, heavy objects like your bag of rice are measured in what? Kilograms. Then very heavy ones like your car, trucks, you know, house, even house. Oh, you don't know? You don't know how it can be measured. House can be measured though. But the only thing is that you cannot lift the house up. But imagine that when they were building that house, they use sand, concrete, cement, everything. Do you think it will not be heavy? It will be extremely heavy. Alright? So, that is that. Now let's look at our table of weight measure. Please and please and please and please, I beg you in the name of anything you believe in. This particular table, please learn it. After today's class now, we start learning it. See, you know me, I will always tell you guys the truth. I won't lie to you and I won't deceive you. The truth of the matter is that if you don't know this thing, you can't do conversion. of weight. You can't do addition of weight. You can't even do subtraction of weight. You can't even do multiplication of weight if you don't know this table. I'm begging you, your number one assignment, make it easy for yourself and make it easy for me. You know, the worst thing that can ever happen to any student is, as a teacher, you know, we're trying to like, the teacher and students are like, it's like a relationship, all right? You know, what I mean is that for the child to do well, the child has some level of work to do, all right? No teacher can open your head and put book inside, all right? So it requires cooperation. You have to cooperate, all right? So I do my part, you do your part. So I'm doing my part, and I'm expecting you to do what? Do your work part. And how are you supposed to do your part? Learn this table. So that when we are doing anything in conversion, and I'm asking you, how many centigrams make 1 gram? How many grams make 1 kilogram? How many tons? How many kilograms make 1 ton? It will be so easy for you to answer. But when you don't know it, you can't do anything. That is just the truth. So please make it easy for yourself and make it easy for me by learning this table. You know I love you. I won't lie. Even though I don't know those that are watching me, but I know all of you that are watching me. I love you. I won't lie. You know, and when you love someone, you want the best for them. Okay, so I actually want the best for you. So that I'm telling you now, in order that this thing will be easy. Daddies and mommies who are listening to the sound of my voice, because I know that some of you, your parents are there with you. So that, please help me to help them. Their number one assignment is to learn this thing. Yes, daddies and mommies, I'm begging you, you know I cannot come out of the phone now to come and check whether they plant it or not. But sorry, daddies and mommies, don't be angry, I'm laughing. You know that's the truth now. I can't come out of the phone to know whether they plant it or not. But what I can categorically tell you is that you have helped me to keep an eye on them and make sure that they learn this table. It's very important. They need to learn this table. This 10 milligram, you know, I thought at the beginning of the video, I recited the one that I learned in primary 2. Since then, till now, I have not forgotten. As a result, give me anything to solve the weight. I can solve it because it makes it easy for me. So that they will not be struggling, because if they are to write any external exam, they will not come on the exam day and give them, who will tell you that 1,000 kilograms make 1 ton. As a matter of fact, in this your present class, we are not supposed to be teaching you this. You ought to have learned it in your primary 3 or primary 2. That is just the truth. All I'm supposed to do now is go to the conversion straight. But then if I go to the conversion straight now and I want to convert decigram to gram, and I ask you how many decigram make 1 gram, you're looking at me. I am speaking from experience. I've taught children and I know this is one challenge they usually have. How many grams make 1 kilogram? They're looking at you. But you won't blame them. It is as a result of the system we find ourselves in. We don't know that this thing is like someone that is climbing a step. You have to count 1 to count 2. To move to the next level, there's something you're supposed to learn that will help you to move to that next level. But a situation where you didn't learn that thing that would help you to move to the next level, you're going to start struggling. And that is why a lot of them struggle, because they don't have good foundation. This is one of the foundation, because they can't ask you to convert say 4 grams to 30 grams and you don't know this. No, now you need to know this. It's very, very important. So please, daddies and mommies, help me to help them. They should make sure they learn this table. Very, very necessary, so that they will not be struggling. All right. And here we have, let them be reciting every morning. 10 milligrams make 1 centigram. I can categorically tell you that if any child learns this table, wake them up from sleep, give them anything on weight, they will so solve it with ease, because they know this table. 10 centigrams make 1 decigram. 10 decigrams make 1 gram. 10 grams make 1 decigram. 10 decagrams make 1 hectogram. 10 hectograms make 1 kilogram. 1,000 kilograms make 1 ton. As a matter of fact, this is going to form the foundation of everything we are going to do in this topic. This particular thing, as far as weight is concerned, this is going to form the background of everything we are going to do. Also note that 130 grams make 1 gram, 1,000 grams make 1 kilogram, and 1,000 kilograms make 1 ton. So please, we need to learn them. Now, the next thing we are going to be looking at is this. Now, we want to look at conversion of metric weight. Conversion of one weight to what? Another. That's the next thing we're looking at now. So, we said conversion of weight can be in two ways. What did I say? Conversion of what? Weight can be in two ways. Conversion from a higher unit to a lower unit. Alright? And what? Conversion from a lower unit to a higher unit. Conversion from what? A higher unit to a lower unit, and conversion from a lower unit to a higher unit. Now, we are going to be looking at today, we are going to look at conversion from a higher unit to a lower unit. In our next class, we look at conversion from a lower unit to a higher unit. Then we look at addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division of weight. So it's going to be a long series. Yes, weight is going to be a long series, but guess what? I'm not going to take everything at once. I'm going to take them one by one so that we can assimilate it and understand this very well before I move to the next level, okay? So today we're looking at what? Now, don't forget, learn this table. Very, very important. Now listen to what I'm about to say now. This is going to help you when you are doing anything conversion from higher to lower, alright? So, to convert from a higher unit, example, grams, to a lower unit, example, decigrams, multiply the higher unit by the equivalent multiplier of the lower unit. It's too much grammar, but pay attention. For instance, the equivalent multiplier of decigrams in relation to grams is 10. Since 10 decigrams make 1 gram. Therefore, if you are to convert from grams to decigram, multiply the grams by 10 to get the decigram equivalent. I know. Mr. Emmanuel, you are like, Mr. Emmanuel, please, can you explain what you just read? Of course. I will do that with ease. Now, see here, let me tell you something. This is just grammar. Oh yeah, it's grammar. But let me interpret what they were asking you to do. See what they were asking you to do here. They said that anytime you want to change a higher unit to a lower unit, you need to know how many of that lower unit will give you that higher unit. Are you with me? If you want to change a higher unit to a lower unit, the first thing you have to know is that how many of that lower unit will give you one of that higher unit. And we'll give an example here, grams and decigram. We know that according to our table, that 10 decigram means what? 1 gram. So if I want to change 10 grams to decigram, I have to know how many decigram gives me 1 gram. When I now know how many decigram gives me 1 gram, I will now use that 10 to multiply the 10 grams and I will get my answer. Let's solve this example. For example, number 1 now. They said change 4 grams to centigrams. Stay with me. Change 4 what? Grams to what? Centigrams. Now, if you notice, this is changing from higher unit to lower unit. Okay? The higher unit is what? Grams. The lower unit is what? Centigram. So, the first thing we are going to know is that how many of these will give you one of these. Let's go back to our table. How many centigram make 1 gram? 100. So, we have it at 100 centigrams gives us what? 1 what? Grams. Alright? Now, we have here 4 grams. We have to change 4 grams to centigram. So what do? We cross what? Multiply. We now do this 4 grams times 100. 4 grams times what? 100. That will be giving us what? 400 centigrams. This is our answer. Very simple. Very, very what? Simple. You know, but the thing that you have to, one thing I want you to understand is this. It wouldn't have been simple if we don't know this table. Let's move to the next question. Change 3 grams, 50 centigrams to what? Centigrams. Now, if you look here, you know that they said we change 3 grams. This thing now has 2 units, gram and what? Centigram. So what? Centigram. So now the question is, how many centigram gives us what? 1 gram. We already know is what? 100 centigrams. Will give us what? 1 what? Grams. Or 1 gram rather. Now we know that the 50 is already in centigram. We'll leave it. This one that is in grams is the one we need to change to what? Centigram. Alright? This one that is which and what is that? 3. So this 3 grams to centigrams is going to be what? 3 times how many centigram make 1 gram? 100. 3 times 100 plus what? 50. And 3 times 100 is what? 300 plus 50. That will give us what? 350 what? Centigrams. Answer. Change 3 grams, 50 centigrams to grams. One of them was already in centigrams. So what we have to do was just to do what? Change the 3 kilograms to grams, then add the other one to it. Number 3. They said change 2 kilograms to grams. Change 2 what? Kilograms to grams. Now the first question you are going to ask ourselves is that, you know, kilogram and grams, the lower unit is what? Grams. So we are going to ask ourselves, how many grams make 1 kilogram? And we can establish that it's what? 1000 grams make 1 what? Kilogram. So write it down first. 1000 grams make 1 what? Kilogram. Now we have what? 2 kilograms. To change it to what? Grams. What do? We cross multiply. That is 2 kilograms times 1000 what? Grams. That will give us what? 2000 grams. Answer. Have we now seen that the backbone of this conversion of metric length is what? This table. That's why I laid much emphasis at the beginning. Learn this table is very, very what? Important. So now the next one is change 9 tons to kilogram. Change 9 what? 9 tons to what? Kilogram. Now you will agree with me that kilogram is the lesser unit. In fact, when you are doing this, the one on the right hand side. Now someone might be like, Mr. Money, how will you know the lesser unit? The lesser unit is always on the right hand side. Change 9 tons to kilogram. Change 2 kilograms to grams. Change 3 kilograms, 50 centigrams to grams. Change 4 grams to centigrams. The lower unit is always on the right hand side. Alright? So now, the first question is, how many kilograms makes 1 what? Ton. We already know is what? From our table is what? 1000 kilograms make 1 ton. So write it here, 1000 what? Kilogram gives us what? 1 ton, okay? Now, we have to change what? 9 tons to kilogram. What do? We cross what? Multiply. 9 tons times what? 1000 what? Kilogram. That will give us what? 9000 what? Kilograms. Answer. It's very, very easy. Alright? So this is what conversion from a higher unit to a lower unit entails. So in our next class, we'll look at conversion from a lower unit. Now, we are going to look at how do we now take a lower unit to a higher unit. We are going to look at it in our next class. So keep watching, keep learning, and do what? Stay safe. But before I leave here now, please go and learn this table. Learn it. It makes everything we are going to do in this week easy for you. I love you all. Keep learning. Stay safe. Bye bye. See you in the next class. Write your notes when you are done. Let me know. Send you the link for the class assessment. Take care.